Detroit's teachers union out with a list of demands for returning to in-person instruction in just a few weeks.
But first, a tragedy in Ecorse. One child is dead, another badly hurt from what their grandmother believes was a beating by their mother's boyfriend. Topping our news tonight at 6, the victims are twin brothers, just 13 months old.
One of them has undergone surgery to try to save his life. Let's get back to Jason Colthorpe for the very latest, including a second arrest in this case. Jason.
Yes, Kimberly, we've just learned from multiple sources the boyfriend of that mother of these twins was arrested in Sumter Township. We'll have more on that in a moment. Again, the mother has also been arrested. She's in custody. And as we go through this case, there are going to be many questions. One of them being, was this preventable? A neighbor who alerted authorities almost 2 weeks ago says it most certainly was.
And I said to my husband, one of those babies are going to end up dead.
Those ominous words from a concerned neighbor and Facebook friend of the Reed family. She saw these photos of the twins, Zion and Zaire Reed, and noticed visible trauma.
The baby had blood in its eyes and 2 black eyes.
Following her instincts, she called Wayne County Child Protective Services on July 16th. She says she left a message and lots of details and never got a call back. 12 days later, Zaire is dead and Zion is in surgery.
He's got a broken nose, he's got a broken femur. They're operating on his femur right now. He might have blood in his brain. And he's got broken ribs and liver damage.
The boy's grandmother believes it was her daughter's boyfriend behind the abuse.
When you looked at the guy, you could just see evil. It was evil.
More ominous words there at the end. Again, we did reach out to CPS representatives, but weren't able to get anyone before the close of business today for a comment on that story. We should also point out we've learned that this mother has 2 other children, both of whom were removed from her custody, according to her mother. One lives with the grandmother, one lives with the father. And going back to the arrest, we said we've learned the boyfriend was caught in Sumter Township. That's near Belleville. We're expecting an update from police here in about an hour. We'll have more on the boyfriend and more on how these 2 boys were, just the lives they lived, and just as it was described by family members to us. All of that tonight at 11. Reporting live in Ecorse, Jason Colthorpe, Local 4.
Just awful. Okay, Jason, thank you.
Well, the state is reporting 669 new cases of COVID-19. That's an increase of 181 over yesterday's number. Michigan's COVID death toll also growing by 16 people. We would note quickly, though, 11 of those deaths have been added retroactively as part of a vital records review. Now, one of the most powerful weapons against COVID is knowing where it's being spread. And Detroit's top health official is identifying one part of the city as a major hotspot. Defender Sean Lay live in Greektown. And Sean, Denise Fair says folks visiting there have fallen into some dangerous habits.
Devin, listen, I've got my mask off. I'm not taking it off. You talk about social distancing, at least here in Greektown. We've been here all afternoon. That's in the distant past for many. We are seeing some masks. We're not seeing a lot of them. And some are being worn as fashion statements, not being worn properly for protection. This is a hot spot, according to the city.
I think Greektown is a hot spot. It's a lot of people congregating.
Detroit Chief Public Health Officer Denise Fair calling Greektown a hot spot for COVID-19 transmission, and the latest numbers of who is testing positive ought to get everyone's attention.
I would say more than 50% of all cases in the city of Detroit, more than 50% of all new cases in the city of Detroit are from those people who are asymptomatic.
And the majority of new cases are ages 20 to 29, out and about, out on the town.
This is pretty scary. So you don't know who has COVID and who doesn't.
And Fair is seeing many not social distancing and others not wearing masks, or if they have a mask.
I want to tell people, I want to say, please just put your mask on properly.
They're not wearing it the right way.
I always try to do this, but it never ends up in the media. So Sean, maybe I can do this with you, okay? So let me just, this is a regular surgical mask. And what we've seen is that people are wearing the mask just like this as a fashion statement. So this is a fashion statement. And this does nothing to protect you from COVID-19. So I'm asking you, as your health officer for the city of Detroit, to do us all a favor and to make sure you wear your mask properly, which is to cover both your nose and your mouth, just like this. It is super simple.
And the city, health officials and police visiting every business in Greektown. They say the business owners have been great, fully cooperating, understanding the rules. It's the crowds gathering. Look, beautiful weather, Tiger's right over there. People want to come out here, but the crowds are giving the city and health officials great concern now for the proximity and not wearing of masks. And guys, police officer just rode on the bike and he said, look, it is bad. It is very, very bad right here in Greektown right now.
So interesting to boil it down to just a few blocks. Exactly right. All right, Sean, great information there on the masks as well.
Well, about a month from the start of the school year, and there's still uncertainty about whether kids will be learning in person or remotely or a little bit of both. Governor Whitmer says right now Metro Detroit is in phase 4, meeting both. But more decisions are to be made in the coming weeks.
So what is the timeline? I mean, in a couple weeks from now, we'll know what actions today yield in terms of COVID cases. A couple weeks after that, we'll see what it means in terms of hospitalizations. That's the lagging indicators of this particular type of virus. And so what we know is if we do this simple act, we're going to put ourselves in a much stronger position, economically speaking, speaking, of course, the health and safety of our residents is paramount, but also in terms of giving parents and workplaces the confidence that their kids are going to be safe to return to school. So you're going to know before we get to that first day, but it's going to be a lot closer to it than anyone's going to be happy with, and that's just the nature of this disease.
Yeah, and the word safe has become more complicated than ever when it comes to school in the era of COVID-19. Parents, teachers, administrators, and students themselves may have different ideas of what safe means for in-person learning this fall. Victor Williams shows.
Well, the Detroit Federation of Teachers has been very open with their list of demands for the district and making sure that the school system is 100% safe, not only to ensure the safety of the staff, but the students as well.
As you've seen over the past week and a half, almost 2 weeks, the cases have gone up. And so what does that tell us? That tells us right now that there are some grave concerns.
Detroit Federation of Teachers President Terrence Martin spoke about the potential hazards if class goes back into session with the more traditional approach with the group of teachers, students, and even parents.
At this very moment, some people are pushing to risk the lives of teachers, students, and families.
I want my child back in the classroom, but only when it's safe to do so.
The Federation is making a list of demands from the district in hopes of ensuring the safety of staff and students alike, including allowing all employees to opt into in-person work, implementing a reopening plan with unions, and so much more.
No employee should be forced to return to work for fear of being terminated because they have a feeling of apprehension because of their health.
Dr. Vitti responded to the demands which were included in this statement, which partly reads, "We did engage all union leaders in the draft plan and held virtual meetings. With that said, we are more than willing to meet again to discuss how the reopening plan can be improved."
If the union leadership doesn't feel that it's safe, then we won't show up.
And for that full list of demands, as well as the full response from Dr. Vitti, you can head over to our website, clickondetroit.com. Victor Williams, Local 4.
Okay, Victor. It's a settlement years in the making. Tonight, Marathon Petroleum and its surrounding neighborhood have a tentative deal in the dispute over noxious odors emitted into the air there. The event behind all of this came in 2019 when a broken pipe spewed fumes and sent residents scrambling for fresh air. Our business editor, Rod Maloney, live in Lansing tonight with more on where we've arrived in this story. Rod?
Yeah, hey, Devin. Environmental officials here in Lansing have been disappointed with Marathon and its emissions performance over the past few years. And so it got involved in negotiations with Marathon, also with the Sierra Club of Detroit, to try and work out a settlement when it comes to the problems that go with these $10,000 fines per performance issue. And so they fined them $80,000 and then came to this settlement. February 2nd, 2019, the polar vortex helped split a major Marathon refinery pipe. Into the air vented mercaptan and sulfide, a nasty, smelly emissions law violation. Resident Teresa Landrum remembers.
Some people were experiencing burning and irritation in their throat and feeling nauseated.
The state also found violations dating back to 2017 and piled those penalties onto the settlement. In what's called a Specialized Environmental Project, or SEP, Marathon agreed to spend more than $280,000 adding a specialized air conditioning and filtration system to the Mark Twain School for Scholars so children have pure air to breathe there. Marathon put out a statement, quote, "The SEP program is undertaken by a corporation to benefit the surrounding community. MPC had an option to pay the fine set by Eagle, but instead chose to take advantage of the SEP, ensuring that the funds would be dedicated to community-driven programs rather than ending up in Eagle's general fund," end quote. Eagle spokesperson Janine Camilleri likes the deal.
And have them providing input on a specific project of need. We feel it's a win-win. It brings the dollars back into the community. These are voluntary projects.
Teresa Landrum is not so pleased.
It's only a grain of sand in a sea of egregious acts that have been committed against my community.
Teresa was involved in those negotiations. Now, Marathon has also agreed to put out some more monitoring equipment in the neighborhood, and they have to provide the high-tech equipment so that they can match that to the phones or latch it to the phones of the residents in the area so they can monitor the levels as well at the same time. Now, this is tentative. They have to have a hearing in August and then another one in September before it can become final. Reporting live in Lansing, Rod Maloney, Local 4.
Be on it then. All right, Rod.
Well, we told you at 5 about Henry Ford Health System launching the local phase 3 trial of the Moderna coronavirus vaccine. Well, another vaccine with ties to Michigan is also ready for wide-scale testing. Pfizer announced it is now recruiting 30,000 people in the U.S. and elsewhere to study the effectiveness of its vaccine.
Graduate student David Rock participated in Pfizer's earlier trial of the vaccine. He was vaccinated in early May at the University of Maryland School of Medicine.
It's exciting. It's exciting from the side of a participant. It's exciting from the side of a graduate student who's studying immunology. And it's also exciting that it's hopefully the promise of a vaccine by next year and life returning to a semblance of normal.
That early trial found the vaccine stimulated antibodies in those vaccinated at rates equal to or higher than those who've had the disease.
There's also a component of relief, saying that it's actually producing results, that the vaccine is producing antibodies.
The initial U.S. production of the vaccine is taking place at Pfizer's manufacturing plant in Kalamazoo County. In addition to continuing to study safety, the phase 3 trials will determine if the vaccine actually protects people against becoming infected by the coronavirus. David still doesn't know for sure if he got the actual vaccine or the placebo saline solution. But since he had a slight reaction to his second dose, he's convinced he is one of the very few people in the world vaccinated against the coronavirus.
I joke with my friends, I'm not going around licking doorknobs just to prove that it actually does work or it doesn't work.
Licking doorknobs. Well, Pfizer will test its vaccine in the U.S. and other countries, including Argentina, Brazil, and Germany. Testing it in communities with higher rates of spread, they say, is key to determining its effectiveness.
Steer clear of the doorknobs. A slightly more comfortable version of summer weather has been settling in. Let's head into Ben.
Yeah, Kim and Devin, I think a lot of us would trade some of this pleasant weather just to get a good soaking rain. Will we get that this week? We'll look at that coming up.
A Help Me Hank scam alert. Those looking to add a dog to their family now being targeted by heartless scammers, and some people are losing big money. We have an important warning tonight from Michigan's Attorney General.